Welcome to Blast of the Stash It. Just the two of us tonight. Everybody else is either out sick, Drew's got his work thing going on, and Paul, I don't know what the hell he's doing, but it's just the two of us here tonight. So we're going to chit-chat about our comics this week. Super Bowl is just about over. I'm assuming the Patriots won. Last time I knew they got the interception on the goal line. Joe's shaking his head yes.
13-3.
13-3. So I said, that's it. I'm done. Soon as they caught that interception. So let's go do the show. So we're going to jump right into our books this week, unless you got some other updates on anything you got going on, Joe. We got a little time tonight.
I'm sorry?
We got a little bit of time tonight. We don't have everybody here, so let's just fill the show with crap.
We can ponder about things.
We can ponder.
We could save it for the end. We got into information. We got more auctions coming up, and we got some huge shout outs from some great people in the community that have been promoting our show and talking, saying great things about us, even though most of them are lies. But we appreciate it anyway.
Probably would be. We got Byron, the Observer, in the chat here. What's up? Probably everybody else is finishing up the Super Bowl parties, but we'll go ahead and roll with it. Go ahead, Joe. First book.
All right, first book. Let's go ahead and get the garbage out of the way. Mysteries of Love in Space. So I am a sci-fi golden age comic guy. Those are my things. This really let me down. They had a chance to bring back some of that golden age goodness. What's going on, Jacko? And what they did is they took the idea of love and they basically made it friendship, and there was nothing really to this, nothing really deep about it. The artwork was pretty cool in it. I will give it that. But as far as memorable books go, out of all four stories, there's only one that sticks out of my head, and it was a crap story. The rest of it was just kind of, I felt bad. I spent $9.99 on it, and you know what I got? I got $2 worth of memories out of it. So yeah, this is definitely a blast. If you're buying this, I'm sorry about your luck. Try to flip it now while people think it's hot.
Yeah, I was a sucker, and I bought that too. I only got a few pages into the first story with Darkseid and Granny Goodness from Mr. Miracle. And I was like, oh, God. I just set it to the side. I couldn't even get through the first story. Yeah. Flipping to it here, it looks like looks like some good Silver Age art in here on one story. But definitely here, so it shows Crush and this other greenish looking girl, kind of giving in my suspicions to Teen Titan Annual in here.
I think so. They tried to do a tie-in there, and I'm not sure if it was an origin story or first appearance in the Granny Goodness story with the one character. But again, it was not a memorable story to begin with. It read more like a really bad knockoff C version of Tales of the Crypt than it did actually a story.
Yeah, I've been a sucker for these before. They've had a few other these square bound books that are these mini-series or little short stories, and I bought them every single time. I think I've been fooled for the last time. I don't think I'm going to be picking up the next one unless I hear some great stuff about it. I'll wait till it gets in the dollar bin or at least a $5 bin. Holy hell, paying $9.99 for a book I haven't even read is quite the stinker.
Yeah.
We didn't go over the list of books you read this week, but I'm assuming you probably read the same books I did.
I got a lot of everything.
Okay. Let's go into... This one was not on my pull list, but I read the synopsis for it, and it sounded pretty good. This is a 4-part miniseries by Dark Horse called Word. Did you read this one?
Yes.
I did. So in this story here, there's this detective or this agent. He can't be killed, so they sent him out on these special missions to kind of figure out what's going on. So he's almost like they have like a Captain America kind of thing in here. So it's kind of going off of that. He's a super soldier. He's killing this big monster, this big guy that's terrorizing this town that had killed everybody in this town except for this one little girl.
Yeah, and
it's interesting enough. I think I would pick up issue 2. It's got kind of a who does the art on this? Micah Myers. The art's okay. I don't think it's the greatest in the world, but for a 4-part miniseries, I think I would pick up the other 3 books just to see where the story's going. It's interests me that much. It has some, the very first of it, he's getting out hit by a car, and he's like, dude, again, what are you doing? Just proving a point, I guess, that you can't die. What do you think of Word?
Man, I absolutely love this. This was a great. At first, it read so much like a cooler John Constantine. That's how I felt the entire time. He's doing his drinking and smoking thing. He can't die. He's I guess he's doing it just to feel something when he jumps in front of traffic or hurts himself. They haven't really explained that. And then they throw in the Captain America soldier serum thing in it. So now we got a John Constantine / Captain America / some Doctor Strange stuff going on / look, if you like paranormal fairy tale type stories that have a lot of great cynicism to them, I guess is the way to put it, because he's critical. Man, it's just a great story. Again, the art, I like more story than I like art, and this delivered the entire time. This was a great book. If you're not reading this and you got a couple extra bucks in your pocket, and I have led you astray, let me know. I will reimburse you. This is not bad. This is good stuff.
Yeah, even on the back, Steve Orlando said, Word introduces you to a man who steps into the metahuman moderate hell every day. With a whiff of hope for a chaser, Hellblazer meets the negotiator and a soul unlike any other. So that really kind of summed it up. It was definitely a good read, though. I enjoyed it.
Real quick in the chat room, we got Beyond the Blast Doors. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. We also got Jacko. I think I've already given you a shout out. Seaworder doing some great content out there as well. Thanks for stopping by, guys. We appreciate you. All right, so my next book. I talked about something bad. Let's talk about something good, or at least in my opinion. Heroes in Crisis. The mystery is still afoot. What happened? How did it happen? It gets a little weird in this one. We find out the Enforcer. If you don't know that much about the Enforcer and why he was relevant into this comic book, the Enforcer used to be in the DARE program comic books. If you were back in middle school, I'm 43, so when I was in middle school, the DARE program was hot, and they were trying to reach out to kids, so they gave us comic books, and they had the Enforcer in it, who told you don't do drugs, don't do drugs. Well, we find out that he's an addict. And he's kind of in rehab in Sanctuary. And he kind of makes fun of himself for it. And it didn't read funny. It read depressing. But the worst, not the worst. I think the most that probably gripped you the most was Harley Quinn's confession at the end, where she sat there and talked about, she kind of told the Joker joke, and Joker says, why'd the chicken cross the road? And she goes, I don't know why. To see the moron. Then he goes, knock, knock. She goes, who's there? She goes, I'm here to see the chicken. And then she's like, and then he proceeded into beating me. And that just kind of drugged the mood down. That this is really deep stuff that they're talking about here. Plus the other confessions. I don't want to call them confessions. We'll call them
testimonials.
Yeah, no. Testimonials. Yeah, testimonials would be fine. Or just a little bit of that inner being with the action and everything being wrapped around it all. We find out there's a time thing going on in here too. A lot of things going on here, but I'll be honest. My only concern is it's issue 5 now. There's only 4 more issues in this 9-issue run. I don't think they got enough time to completely develop the story into a solid, cohesive ending. That's what scares me, because this is where writers tend to start taking shortcuts. And then all of a sudden you get that surprise, it was a big holodeck scene, or surprise, it was, and then it just really lets you down. I want a conclusive ending to this. I want this to end strong, and I want you to make me involved in this story, because I know I have invested time, energies, efforts, and monies into this. Please, if the writer's watching this, I don't know why you would, but please, if that's the case, just let me know.
Tom King might be watching. Who knows? Maybe I'll tag him when it goes on our Twitter page. Say, hey, Tom, check this out.
Yeah.
I've had so many stories I've read, miniseries, and it's like build up. All of a sudden, this is a really quick ending. It's like, dude, what the hell happened? Yeah. You had all this build up. And what a crap ending, That's happened quite a few times.
Happens way too often.
Yeah, this was better than some of the books. So I do like that twist with the time thing that is either Booster Gold or Blue Beetle figures out what's going on with Flash. That's kind of cool. I hope they're going to be able to develop that. Although this kind of worrying me that they are going to use, oh, well, it was a time jump thing. You know, the same kind of thing as almost like the holodeck. You know, they can jump back and forth to where they make it. It's such an easy out. Yeah. And I don't like easy outs. Everybody's read those easy outs far too many times. Something new, something different. And I understand it's hard to do with how many stories are out there. It's hard not to do that. You did touch base on the Harley Quinn thing at the end. I thought that was depressing because everybody thinks, oh, Harley Quinn and Joker have this great love, this dysfunctional love. It's totally a dysfunctional relationship. There's no love there at all. I mean, Joker's a total abusive partner or whatever you want to call him. I don't know if he necessarily beats her all the time, but he definitely is verbally abusive to her, and I guess he does beat her too. So it's, I do like the story. I'm hoping it's going to have a good ending. I'm hoping that Tom King's going to be able to wrap this up and be one of those the stories that when you get to the end and go, wow, that was great. You know, I didn't see it. That was that slow burn that I was looking for. That's what I'm hoping for in this book.
That's what I'm going to say. Something else. Enforcer thing, just to make sure I was not crazy. I even showed my wife, and I was like, "You took Dare in middle school, right?" And I was like, "Do you remember the Enforcer?" And she goes, "That comic book thing." And I was like, "Yeah, look, he's a crack addict." Like,
see, I remember the Dare program because I'm right at your age, but I don't remember the Enforcer. I don't know if I ever remember
here on the East Coast. They were doing well. I also went to a inner city elementary and middle school before I moved out to the country, and they were doing whatever they could to kind of relate to the kids. Like they would play Vanilla Ice and try to be cool, and it came off really bad. So then it came with comic books. It was like, okay, comic books.
Well, yeah, I guess maybe I lived more out in the sticks where they said, you know, don't get your 4x4 stuck in the mud. You know, it wasn't about drugs. It was about don't gut your deer on the side of the road. That kind of stuff that I probably got more out here than the drug stuff. Okay, let's move on to.
Hey, Comic Core, Chad, welcome to the room. And yes, we said crack.
That perked him right up. Shout out to Mike real quick. I know he was not feeling good. I think he was saying he had maybe strep throat.
Yeah, he says he's not feeling very well. He's down and he's out tonight. So, you know, if praying's your thing or good vibes is your thing, definitely send it his way. Yeah. He's been feeling kind of, plus, you know, his job, you know, he's not overly enjoying that much, but, and then being sick on top of it, you know, he's just not having a good time right now.
Yeah. So my next story is another throwback to the old ones, Journey into Unknown Worlds. Yes. Did you pick up that one? So on the cover, I'm a sucker for, which cover did you get?
The alien breaking out of the glass from the second story.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one. I got I guess it's cover A. It's the one with the Boy Scout uniform. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm a sucker for anything Scouts. I always try to pick stuff up. So this one has 2 stories in here. I can go over the first story if you want to go over the second one.
This is your book. You go over it.
Oh, whatever. Okay, so in the first one, there's a whole bunch of FBI people. They find this huge skeleton. They're trying to figure out what's going on. They know this comet had hit, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And they find out there's actually a living being that kind of is able to, not necessarily transferred by air or whatever, it can be able to get in through your suit. And they find out that they're going from planet to planet trying to find research, trying to find a place where they can live. But they know that if they come there, they're going to die because we don't have the resources we have. Plus, it ended up killing up the people, humans here too. So it's kind of a cool story where the bones are kind of poking out through their skins and transforming them. It's kind of weird that the one guy's walking with the girl that kind of transformed, like a brain's kind of hanging out, and she's talking with him. That's kind of creepy looking. The second story is a Boy Scout troop. They don't call them Boy Scout troops because they can't use the Boy Scout name on anything that the Boy Scout doesn't approve of. So, but they are the Bear Scouts. I think that's what they're called in here. So they're telling a scary story, as kids always do around a campfire. And the one kid, they're picking on one kid, Billy Pendleton. And he ends up getting into his sleeping bag, and the scoutmaster's coming over to him. Hey, don't, there's our boy. Don't let him, blah, blah, blah. Don't let him bother you. And they end up stringing him up in his sleeping bag, teasing him, picking on him. Then he ends up seeing a crater or a meteorite hit. He goes out there, touches the meteorite, and he goes back to camp, swelling up. He climbed into his sleeping bag and pulls himself up in a tree like a cocoon. And then the kids go, is that Billy in there? And he burst out like a big freaking ugly ass moth, killing all the kids. And then the last page is a whole bunch of cocoons hanging from the tree. I thought that was kind of a cool story. Like I said, I'm a sucker for scout stuff, but it was definitely cool. I enjoyed it very much. And I know that, of course, then it has a little bit beyond that too, about a new group of people out in the woods trying to tell the same story. So it's cool stuff. I actually thought this was good.
Man, this fit right up there with classic golden age horror stories, the way that it was told. It was just great. Hey, Comic Girl Ava, thanks for stopping by. Gomez, Comic Collector, thanks for stopping by too. Love having you guys here. And we're just talking about Journey into Mystery or Unknown Worlds. And, as a sci-fi collector of Golden Age comics and horror collection, man, this just fit right in there. This is just good story. This is how you tell a short story, quick, fast, in a hurry with good art, done. Period. 2 great stories, complete endings, made sense, and it just read very well. One thing did kind of confuse me in the Boy Scout stories, though, when the fat kid Billy busts out of his cocoon or sleeping bag as the alien. One of the kids actually says, and I'm reading it as it says right here, look at him. He's so beautiful. And I was like, and I'm looking at this. There's the panel right there. You tell me what beauty you see in that. Not really sure why that says that. Maybe they see it as something different. I thought that was odd. But other than that, I mean, and the way they ended it, where it turned into yet another repeating story in itself, that's just great. Kudos to the guys that wrote this. Thank you. I was actually happy to spend my money on that.
What was that? There was a couple TV shows in the 80s that kind of had the short horror kind of story. Tales from Dark Side, was that one of them?
Tales from the Dark Side, The Outer Limits, but that had been going since the 50s, but they did another run in the 80s as well.
Amazing Stories was kind of one. They kind of had
Friday
some
the 13th had a series where they were kind of doing it too.
Yeah, it kind of read like one of those too. Like I said, that repeating story, as in like here's the main story. This is what happened at the end. Look, it's going to happen all over again with these new group of kids, so it's not over yet. So that's I like that. That's interesting. Okay, anybody else who got going in the chat?
Oh, they're talking about Friday the 13th, and everybody's talking about what they read. Nice.
Jacko said it made Life Scout. My oldest son made Life Scout. My youngest son is hoping to beat him out and make Eagle. We'll see. See if he's got any.
All right, so my next book is going to be Detective Comics 997. And I am befuddled on this one. I'm not sure if I like it, if I hate it, or maybe I just didn't get it. Like, I'll be honest. It read very weird. And even my notes for it don't even make sense. It was just... Like I have, okay, you got Mr. Miracle, you got sharks, you got piranhas. Great story. Get it. You got the older Mr. Miracle, who was a teacher. So that makes him relevant to the current villain and all that. The only thing I could really dig out of this thing was, and of course you had an evil Batman. So normally that's enough for a good story. But then again, I'm always the guy. I'm like, well, okay, what is the writer trying to tell me? And, I came up blank, but for some reason, I enjoyed it, but I don't know what it's trying to say to me, and that bothers me sometimes. So, great art in it. Story was okay. How is it going to be relevant from here on out? I'm not really sure. We're on the road to 1,000, and everybody's expecting something good in the 1,000th. And I'm still trying to figure out where this kind of fit into everything that we've had thus far, other than the connection as Mr. Miracle being a teacher to Batman and escaping and all that. I don't know. Again, I want to like it. Maybe I want it too bad, and I really don't. I'm not sure. Befuddled.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I'm right there with you. Because I was trying to think back to the last issue. What happened at the end of the last issue? Did he get captured? He did. Do you remember?
I I looked back and I didn't see anything definitive saying that he got captured. He just woke up and there they are.
And I remember, they're this new villain. He's going back to trying to get everything that was, Batman, Bruce Wayne's past, and trying to make those connections forward, and stuff like that. I enjoyed the story. I thought it was interesting. How Batman's thought process. How am I going to get here? Well, it's leather bound. When leather gets wet, it gets harder to move. Blah blah blah. This is what I need to do to get out. Using the sharks, using the piranhas. That's a bit jumping the shark. I might say,
I'll
but
be honest, that was a lot of time underwater. Like, I don't care how long you hold your breath, but to wait for a shark to come over and bite something between, I mean,
that's the thing. Mike would have loved this just because of the shark aspect of it.
Yeah,
we know that. Mike said stash sharks, and so I'm good. It kind of reminded me of that last Batman issue a little bit with Professor Pig. Because we really don't know how he got here. We don't know if this is real or not. Kind of same thing. It's like we don't know where this fits in with the rest of the story, other than like I said, we know they're going back to Batman's past and trying to bother him that way by making the fake killings of his parents and stabbing Alfred and all that stuff.
And then at the end, he just randomly, they don't tell us what made him come to the conclusion that Strange had anything to do with it. It was like one panel where he kind of said something about it, and then all of a sudden he just shows up and he wants to punch Strange. And I'm like, well, at what point did you make that connect? Like, why are we jumping that far ahead? Shouldn't you kind of tell me something there?
It almost kind of jumped into two separate stories, too. The story underwater, and then the story with the fight at the end with the other, I don't know what kind of Batman he is, but it's his parents there. It's Joe Chill there. Yeah. So we don't know what that plays in either. If he's poisoned, if he's having hallucinations. So, but I mean, Tomasi has definitely been better than King, I think, in writing Batman as of lately. So I'm definitely looking forward to see, and that ride to 1000. So it's a stash for me too.
So just as a note, I went ahead and ordered, because I'm a variant douchebag. I have all 11 variants.
Did you?
Ordered them and they're on their way. As soon as the release date happens, I'm getting them all.
I almost ordered. So, KRS Comics or Comic Mint, they always have those special issues with artists that come through and do stuff with that. They have some for Detective Comics 1000. They have a Warren Liu variant, which has Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn on it. It was $25 for the regular cover with the title, but I was like, I didn't pull the trigger on it. I'm like, dude, I'm just not going to do it. It was a cool looking cover, but that's the thing, it's $25 for that. Then those other regular covers are $10 a piece, and I only picked out 4 of my favorites, and that's what I went to for. And that I think I got the oh my God, who's a New 52 Batman artist? Capullo. Yeah, there's only like 4 of them. My God, I forget remember all the artist names, but. That's it for me. Okay, my book. It's my next book. I've only got 3 other books that I read. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go with
Comic Girl Ava says $25 is too much for a single issue comic. I think a lot of us would agree with that. Comics Explain, Jax, it's beer 30 somewhere. Bubba, it's beer 30 anywhere as long as you're not driving machinery.
That is true. I know Jackio asked earlier, and I think you commented if Order the Arrow was still a thing.
Yeah.
I'm actually an Arrow member, but I haven't paid my dues. I've gone through my ordeal and done all that. Have my
because
stash.
And I got my little certificate because I teach shooting, archery, and entrepreneurship to Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts
Oh, cool.
for their merit badges.
Oh, cool. So my next book is going to be Punisher number 7. Rosenberg's still on writing this, and I don't know, Kudaransky is the artist still in this. The art in this book has been, I'm not a big fan of this type of art. This kind of, I don't know what you would even call it.
Is that still from issue 1? That same type of art?
Yeah, that same.
That's why I dropped it. I couldn't get art.
It's not focused on me. I'm not a big fan of that kind of art style. I prefer more classic kind of comic art. You know, I understand that the art can really, it can pull a story together too. It can really make that story work, depending on what kind of art it is. But they're still setting up the Punisher like he's a bad guy. Punisher is a bad guy technically. So somebody else is blowing his car up. They're saying, "Hey, make it look real," so people actually think it's a Punisher doing it when the police captured him. But Punisher's still in prison. He's naked in the shower where he's being Sister Mercy and her bodyguards are approaching him in the shower. You know, the steam coming across this junk area. And I don't know why they said this. Punisher standing there says, "Well, it seems like you know me pretty well now. Want to get me a towel?" Oh, calm down. This isn't the first time I've seen an average penis, Francis. I'm like, do they have to say average? I don't know why they said average. I don't know why this didn't say, you know, that's kind of
chopping them off at the knees.
Literally. So they get some towel. They're walking out of the shower. They're hand in hand. A Punisher with his sister Mercy as they're walking in the shower. It's kind of a weird panel, and I don't understand why. They, you know, she's leading him out of the shower to go talk to him, and basically she's trying to tell him, "Don't you understand that your violence causes more violence?" Because he's acting out because she's been beat up a little bit, and because of his actions, they take it out on other people that he knows. So if you read the last issue, you see that she's missing an eye, and she goes into the backstory saying, "Hey, I've met you before. You came into this village where I was as a nun, younger nun, taking care of these kids and stuff, and blew up the village, essentially killed all the people there, but you ended up leaving. You didn't stay. But your violence brought more violence upon the other people that were left." And so she's trying to get that across to him, knowing that violence isn't always the answer. I mean, I don't know, Punisher violence always, and he's like, "No, that's the answer. You know, that's what it is." So he ends up assaulting a guard, and they throw him in the hole. They kick crap at him a little bit. They pull him back out, and one of the guards says, "Well, you know, we're gonna go hurt her now because of what you did, or we can beat the crap out of you." And he finally said, "No, to beat the crap out of me," kind of taking some of that on himself versus letting somebody else take the punishment for his actions. And so that's kind of how it ends. He got the crap kicked out of him. His head's shaved now. He's had brain swelling. The why can't I think of his name? The purple-headed dude that's been in the story, Zemo, is keeping him, doing everything he can to keep him alive because they actually have plans for him. And so she says, "You get it. You understand your actions now." So it's still been pretty good. I mean, I don't know if I like my Punisher. I mean, yes, I want Punisher to have moral code where he's not killing everybody. But not that I really wanted to have a conscience. I just wanted to go kick ass and kill drug dealers and all that stuff. Not necessarily, "Oh, well, my actions are violent, and I now need to get rid of my toxic masculinity." You know, but still, Punisher has been pretty good. It's a stash for me to continue on. But you said you dropped that, though, huh?
Yeah, I've got issue 1, and I picked up issue 2, and I was just like, you know, I can't. It's the same Punisher story. You hate to say it, and all Punisher really does is it takes the philosophy, and we'll get deep for a second. It takes the philosophy of what is known as realism and non-romanticism. It takes realism, and it's just cold, hard, calculated facts, right? Punisher was a Marine. Punisher destroys things. It keeps everything very baseline. And he has a very strict code that he follows, which is very militaristic. And that's fine for any comic book hero out there, as long as it's used properly. Do not expect to do surgery with a sledgehammer. And the comic book keeps trying to add these kind of more nuancy things into it, and I just can't get into that. It just doesn't. You're not going to change the Punisher, and if you do change the Punisher, everybody's going to drop it because we read the Punisher for the Punisher to do these things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of self-defeating. Also, real quick, Barbarian Kung Fu, welcome to the room. Great to have you here, buddy.
Yeah, he just recently subbed our channel up.
Yes.
Comic Girl Eva says she enjoys toxic masculinity. Go ahead with your next.
I think most of us do. Before I trash another book, let's talk about another good book that actually asked us some real questions. By the way, if you're new to the channel, I minored in philosophy, and you're not going to make money off of it, so I use this channel to use it.
I just read books and go, "Ooh, pretty color, big words." So at least you take a deeper dive into it.
Dictionaries. Mr. Gretzky just came into the room, and Soldier Only. Hey guys, welcome to the show. You got here just in time. We're going to talk about one of my favorite superheroes of all time, Captain America. And of course, I got one of those covers that does not have him on it. I'm collecting these various variants here. I really like these.
He's on there, isn't he?
No,
he's on the corner.
Oh yeah, he's down there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There, but it's not relative to the story.
Yeah.
So yeah, what is Captain America telling us in this one? First off, you got Baron Strucker, who's still alive, and he uses an interesting term in this one where he talks about his myrmidons or myrmidons. Myrmidons are from ancient Greece, and it is the followers of Achilles, and they were devoted soldiers at that time. He's talking about Hydra and all this other stuff. And then we got Captain America, who's ultimately questioning what it is to be a hero. This has been a common comic book trope to make the hero think what his actions actually entail overall. And I like the way that they're approaching it in this manner. Again, we're not getting too wordy and too deep because it's allowing the reader to actually dive deep into this. You know, if all it takes is one bad act to make you a bad guy, even though you're not responsible for the act, what is your responsibility of that act since you're the one that created it? And that's deep. That's some deep stuff there, you know, and I'm really enjoying it. And I hate to say it, but I'm actually enjoying it not because it's a Captain America story, because it's actually approaching questions in a different way than the usual frame the good guy. Good guy does something magical. And all of a sudden he's a good guy again. He's still off the cuffs of still being part of Hydra, even though he really wasn't. He's still having to deal with things that weren't his responsibility. But you know, he's going to do the right thing because, again, just like the Punisher, he is a realist and he understands his role in these things. So he's stepping up and he's going to go do the right thing and he's turning himself in, but he's got some precautions out there. So I'm very excited about where this is going. Not overly impressed with the art in this book, but again, at this point, I'm just reading it to see where this goes. I really like the deepness of it. Man, I hope the rest of y'all are getting it too because it's just great stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if you read the books when Cap turned Hydra, when he said "Hail Hydra" and that whole
read like 5 of them.
Yeah, you know, that pissed a lot of people off. He knew that it wasn't going to be a permanent thing. Yeah, he knew that they were going to switch it around. But I remember telling my dad that my dad had been a Cap fan since he was a kid, and he was so livid that they did that. You know, but he hasn't read the books in years and years and years. So, I mean, he doesn't really know what's going on. But just to know that Captain said, "Hail Hydra," drove him nuts, you know. So, yeah, this has been continuing to be good. This has taken a different side. There have been some action a little bit in earlier books. This didn't have a whole lot of action other than Winter Soldier going into that bar and just kicking everybody's ass trying to get information.
If I ever opened up a bar, it would literally be called the Bar with No Name. That is the most popular bar in comic book culture ever.
I was gonna name. I was down there, a friend of mine. If we had a bar, we were gonna name it the Drunken Thieves. I don't know why. They just named it, popped into our head. But yeah, so Winter Soldier's in there kicking ass. He's trying to figure out who killed Ross, and you know they don't know any information. And he says, you know, the guys are saying, "Go screw yourself." Wrong answer. There goes a kneecap. Bam. You know, I mean, he's just kicking their asses left and right. Then he finally does get a little information, but people say, you know, that
the villain in that instance asked a very important question. What gives you the authority? Is this what heroes do? He really asked some very strong questions in there, and I thought that was very amazing. Like, because you're the good guy, you can do whatever you want to get information, even if there is okay, here we're drawing some very blurred lines. And I thought that was interesting too. Yeah, definitely. And it falls right there in the line with the story and the way it's going. I thought it was great.
Yeah. He says, hero, whatever. A hero ain't nothing but the villain with the biggest gat. That's what he says right there. So, you know, Cap, they want Cap to turn himself in because he is a fugitive. Cap's saying, yes, he wants to. Oh, God, why can't I think of his girlfriend's name?
I think that's a weird relationship because she's like, what, 70 in there?
He's 72. I mean, he's around her age mentally, but she doesn't want him to. She thinks he needs to run and hide, and he's saying, no, this is the right thing to do. I need to turn myself in, but he's not turning his shield in, you know, and they want that shield. They say it's a piece of evidence. He says, not getting it. I don't know where it is. Too bad. And we do have at the end, the new team up, the Rise.
The Daughters of Liberty.
Daughters of Liberty rise to meet it. So
that is awesome.
So I'm still digging this, and I love the Ross covers on this too. Those are pretty good too.
Oh yeah. Real quick in the chat, and I'm gonna mispronounce your name, Fusa only. Caffeinated comic books. Baked a Snake finally showed up with Shaken Baby. And let's see here. Apparently, Miss Ava wants to drink at the bar with no name. I'm with you.
Yeah, we actually got quite a few people in here for Super Bowl Sunday. This Discovery Bay Comics. He says we've been discovered.
Hey, real quick, Discovery Bay, I'm going to go ahead and do it in case I forget at the end of the show. Thank you for that beautiful shout out you did in your show, recommending our show today and the post on Instagram. That was really great, man. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Oh, he posted on Instagram too? I'm not on Instagram, so I didn't know. Yeah, his show is. I sent a message in on his show saying, "Hey, it's now his thing is part of my morning routine. I get up, take my shower, get ready for work. Oh, Discovery Bay's on. Let's check and see what's going on." And they know that I watch my other shows that I'm not going to talk about here because they're rather political. But then I get dressed and I go to work. So
I usually listen to them on my way to work, and I have time for comics, coffee with Bueller as well because I have a long time to work. So
okay, I guess I'm up next.
You got the next one, Bubba.
I got the next one, and this is my last one. I have a big stack that I didn't read, but I'll talk about this one. This is probably, oh my God, I think most of the books were pretty good this week, other than the Detective Comics book. I think most of them were pretty good that I read. Teen Titans Annual #1. Did you get this one?
No.
You missed Teen Titans Annual. Okay.
2 books I didn't get this week, and you named them both.
Oh, really? Really? So in this issue here, we have Red Hood, or Jason. He's going to the bar. He's up there drinking, and here's Damien comes strolling next to him. And Jason said, "Hey, dude, you're a kid. You're not supposed to be in the bar." He said, "I know the law. As long as I'm with an adult and I'm not drinking, blah, blah, blah." So they start throwing this game of darts and having this conversation back and forth. And they're both hitting bullseyes. Bump, bump, you know. And then all of a sudden, you know, and they're trying to figure out who, you know, the building that collapsed in Teen Titans. He thinks that Red Hood has something to do with that because he was the only one that knew the Teen Titans were there. So he's accusing him of setting him up and trying to kill him. Damien stabs him in the butt with a freaking dart, and they just go at it. They start busting. They start brawling. Damien gets thrown out the window. All of a sudden, bam, he has his Robin outfit on. Red Hood has his outfit on, and they're going to town in the parking lot. They're beating the crap out of each other. At first, Robin is getting the advantage. You know, he says, "You're nothing but a street brawler. I've been trained. I can take you, no problem." He's kicking his ass, and then Robin pulls out after he kind of gets him down to where Jason Todd's not wanting to get back up yet. Damien pulls out that box he took from his house that Batman had been hiding. He says, I you know, let's play. And Jason's like, where'd you get that? And he says, doesn't matter. I've got it. He goes, what's in there is my business. It's a bigger than role than what's in this whole crusade. Batman wouldn't even stoop this low. And it says, but you would. The truth. And Damon says the truth now. The truth is, and that's when freaking Red Hood just starts kicking his ass. He goes, truth is, now I'm pissed. Like, bam, just like totally
see, I gotta run out and grab that. I picked up the last issue of Teen Titans, and I did not grab that because I thought it was an annual, and annuals are usually garbage. Now I got to rush out and get it.
It is good. I mean, and Jason Todd ends up beating the shit out of Damian. I mean, to the point where Damian rips his shirt. I didn't notice it before, but Damian has a bomb strapped to him, you know, and then Jason ends up walking off, and it says, you know, hey, he says, nice bluff, kid. Been dead once, so have you. And you lost the minute you showed up here as he walks away. So, dude, it's such a kick-ass story. Then the new appearance of this new character called Joystick, who has this ability to control people, and so he's like having these people duel it out in this mall, and more backstory between Red Arrow and the group. And let's see here, let me flip to a little more. So Joystick ends up taking control of Dinjin. Dinjin, how you pronounce her name?
Huh?
The genie from Teen Titans is Dinjin.
Dinjin. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And he this guy Joystick realized that she's holding all these secrets. He's figuring out everything that she thinks about everybody else, and he's threatening to release it to everybody. And then she doesn't want that because then all is going to be out there. So Dinjin has this really thing for Robin. Of course, we've kind of seen that a little bit. Jin.
And
that's how
Jin. Yeah, that makes sense.
Is the D silent? Is it kind of like?
I think so. I'm not sure if that's the name that they were going for. I know what Jin is, and I know it's usually with a D, but I think it's just pronounced Jin.
Like I'm a kick into ick. But that you pronounce the D on that one. So. But she is able to get back out of this guy's Joystick's trance and attack him. We find out, of course, Jin has this big thing for Robin. Like I said, we've kind of known that before.
Yeah.
But what I was talking about in that Mysteries in Love, where that story with Crush and the other green alien, we come to find out maybe Crush has feelings for Jin. So that's how the book kind of ends, where Jin finds Damian beat up after being kicked by Jason, brings him home, and Jason or Damian say, "Don't tell everybody. I don't." She goes, "I can keep a secret." But Crush was hiding in the garage when she came in, and she said, and then she's going back into this thing where the guy had control of Jan. She really likes you, Crush, but man, she cannot stop thinking about that Robin kid. In fact, that's all he thinks about, and she just smashes the crap out of Damian's car. So we think maybe she's a little jealous. Maybe she likes Jen. She has feelings for Jen. So definitely, it was a good issue, dude. I actually enjoyed this. I
gotta run back out and get that now.
It was a stash, man. His first appearance of Joystick. I don't think he's gonna make much of a difference. He's now in the jail with no mouth. The Jen took his mouth away. That way he couldn't reveal any secrets.
Fair enough.
Caroline Chris is in here as well. Your next book, I guess, unless you want to give me an update on the chat. I don't know what else is in there.
Carolina Chris showed up in the room. What's going on? Everybody's talking about, well, everybody's correcting us, making sure we're saying the word Jen correctly. Thank you. Everybody's talking about Teen Titans and how great of a book it was.
Cool. My Oregon education isn't doing me so good.
You know, I can't say any word unless it's got 7 syllables in it. All right, let's see here. Something good or something bad? What do y'all want in the room? You want me to trash something, or you want me to talk good about something?
I'm out of books other than my stack that I didn't read. I'll go over those here shortly.
All right, so we got so I've been reading Black Panther versus Deadpool. why have I been reading this? It's just stupid fun. And we got to see Deadpool in a Black Panther suit, and it was awesomeness. It was so fun. I love the banter in it. The artwork is, a little lackluster. It's nothing like the cover, like most comic books, but the storyline is just meant to be stupid and fun. So I definitely enjoyed that. You want to do a lightning round? Oh, he's on mute.
No, I'm here. I had to get some more water. Well, I can talk about a different book I have, a cover or whatever, but I didn't read it. Yeah. So
go back and forth. That's fine.
Art Germ. I'm a sucker for Art Germ covers. And I think the only reason they put like Art Germ and Adam Hughes and all these guys, all these, not necessarily guys, but these great artists on these covers is so they buy the books and then they get sales for the book. Oh, people love this book. No, we don't like the book. We like the covers.
Yeah.
A Batgirl 31.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because that was one of the ones I'm gonna trash.
So, love the cover. Apparently, the story's crap, but as my dad said, buying books, all they do is eat the covers.
Yeah, so I read this. Mind you, out of the complete run that I've been getting with Martina and Art Germ, I probably only read about 4 of the stories since they've been on it. Because every time I dive into it, it's a crap story. Now, I will give you some credit. This one was probably a little bit better than the past couple of issues. We got some cool stuff going, or stuff that could be cool. We got some politicians into some shady stuff at Blackgate Penitentiary. We got somebody trying to kill politicians using a new villain. We got some cool stuff, but what they're not doing is kind of like when you bake a cake, you got to mix everything perfectly and smoothly. It's like they just threw everything in the bowl and then threw it in the pan. Like there's a bunch of stuff going on, and they're just saying, "Reader beware." And it's just not a cohesive storytelling process going on here. It jumps around way too much. And that's always been the case with Batgirl. I don't know why that is. And also, Batgirl gets her ass handed to her like twice, like solid twice, like man punching in the face type, knocking out type stuff from this guy. And she never has a bruise on her face when she goes to work the next day. Like nothing. So apparently she has a superpower now. It's kind of weird. And I'm not saying she should, like, it's good to hit women or anything, or marks are okay. But like, there's never a scene where it's like, maybe I should hide it or like nothing. And I'm just like, oh. And then 2 pages later, she gets her ass handed to her again. And I'm like, okay, I see where we're going with this. At least when you read a Batman story, Batman seriously gets his ass handed to him. Like Alfred's always there to help him out, to show that there's some sort of something we've done to make him heal or something. We're not getting that in Batgirl. Apparently, she just Maybelline. She's perfect. I don't know. It's so weird. And the art on the inside's nice, though. I'll give it that. Great use of space in it. Great coloring. And there's some witty banter and dialogue in it, but the story's just not smooth. It's the only way I can describe it.
Maybe she could be the next Maybelline spokesperson. I got the crack pick out last night, but you couldn't tell.
Ta-da! All right. Let's see here. Let's talk about an odd book. No, let's go ahead and get this one out of the way in case we run out of time. I definitely got some things to say about this one. Age of X-Men. Or X-Man. I'm sorry. X-Man Alpha. Okay. How can I do this without too many spoilers? All right. First off, the book that's referenced in the back of the book. In the back of the comic book, there's a book that's referenced with a quote called The Depossessed. Depossessed is a story about a totalitarian utopia and what it takes to actually make it that way. In other words, how do we keep the facade of everything and everybody getting along by fascism being used in the background? This is also along the same lines as George Orwell's famous book, 1984, if you've ever read that either. This is nothing more than a copy of that.
Oh, really? Wow.
Period. And Apocalypse apparently is throwing out a poster about love. Okay, I get it. So we know already that this storyline really likes to hang out in people's heads. Yes, Comic Girl Ava, thank you for mentioning that. She made a Brilliant.
Oh, look who jumped in just in time to go over your X-Men book.
Not at work. He's in the bathroom.
Hey
Probably.
guys, I'm gonna hop in.
They did this
hop in here.
empty,
Okay.
spaced
Just got
apartment, and it
got
turned
my
out to be an
dog.
IKEA thing. I saw that on Comic Girl Ava's site. I thought that was funny. Great comment. But yeah, we know we're in some sort of mind dreamscape thing. We got it. They doubled down on that. Fine. Great. And I'm almost kind of impressed that whoever wrote this actually read Depossessed and 1984. I'm kind of impressed that they have that much literary prevalence to be able to read that. But you don't have to follow it verbatim. Like if you read the two books and you read this comic book, you basically just got the clip notes of both of those books right here. You could pass a test. Not even kidding.
Drew, are you still at work?
No, man, I just walked in the door.
So you heard X-Man, and you're like, shit, I got to get in there. I got to do my weekly tell with argue with Drew or Joe over this.
I didn't hear a damn thing. I'm on my phone. I'm running around the house, letting the dog in and out. I don't even have my books together. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it, but I just walked in the door.
Okay, we're.
And let's just say I really liked Age of X-Men. Okay? It was not my pick of the week, but I thought that it was a great start. I thought it was great art, and I think it sets up every one of these tie-in books that's going to be coming up, and I think that's the job it was supposed to. I'm interested to see where it goes, and I don't care what Joe thinks about it.
Okay, while he's getting situated here, I'll talk about my blast it or flush it. That's what, see, floater or something. Next book is purely a cover by. I probably should have read it because it wasn't number one, even though I've been picking up the other one. I always pick up the photo covers just because it was a huge crush of mine growing up, even though she's close to 70 now. And this is probably an old picture too. It's probably not a current picture. She probably has a catalog of old pictures that they're going back through and reusing it. Elvira. The shape of Elvira in this one. So did you read this, Drew? Because the other Elvira story, she's going through like different time and deal with other people. I'm not sure what she's doing in this one because I didn't even crack it.
He's still letting the dog out. I'll go ahead and say something about it.
Yeah. Did I say Drew or did I say Joe?
I don't know. So yeah, I read this. Okay, typical story for Elvira. It's basically witty banter. She gets a movie job with a weird director. Some weird things are going on in the house. Great. Here's where this failed me. Yes, Elvira has the boobs and the figure, but the thing that always made her seductive is that face. You know what I mean? That very mean with the makeup and everything. And they butchered her face in this. Like, oh my God.
Really bad. Damn. Go ahead, sorry.
Flip through it and take a look. They did not give it any justice. I literally got this cover just to see those sultry eyes, the nice lips and all that. They gave her the figure in there. All right, fine. But yeah, the face was just really just like no detail to it. Very, very bland. And that kind of made me mad. But other than that, I kind of see where this is going. It's a funny story, what it's supposed to be. We'll get some cool stuff. But man, whoever's doing the artwork on this, please take a look at Elvira's face and understand why that fits, that shape and that figure, because that's what made it. Man, you failed me on that. But other than that, it's a typical story for Elvira. Pretty good.
Yeah, the two covers usually I get of Elvira, if Lincer does a cover, Joseph Michael Lincer, and the photo cover. So that's...
I'm not sure who did this cover. This is the C cover with the spider webs.
Yeah, you definitely know Joseph Michael Lincer. He's done quite a bit. He does Red Sonja quite a bit. He did Dawn. So. But, yeah, that's just purely a cover by... Although they go into deep dark part of my long box, and this is probably the only time I'll see it until I'll like, oh yeah, I love Elvira.
Yeah, grandchildren will pull it out and wonder why Grandpa's such a pervert.
Yeah, probably. My daughter's already done that. Why is she only wearing half her clothes? I'm like, oh crap, I better hide that book. So, Drew, you up and rolling yet, or what are you doing, man?
Please hold.
I'm not ordering something from the catalog here.
I'll go ahead.
Time is precious to us.
That I know he didn't get. Night Moves. I don't know if you've read number 1, 2. This is number 3. Mm-hmm. This has been great. Takes place in Vegas. Deals with the occult and demons and stuff like that. And it's a story within a story, kind of like Don Quixote. An old man's telling a kid a story about his life, apparently. We don't know if it's a true story or not. Nobody really cares. But what we do get is just weird stuff going on in here. And I'll be honest with you, I'm really kind of digging this. It's kind of like the shady Vegas private eye guy, and then like a priest who's now a demon. And, they're trying to stop crimes and children being kidnapped and stuff like that. And they kind of got the old Vegas shyster stuff going on. And we get an Ocean's 11 type feeling in here too, where they commit the heist. And man, just coming back from Vegas just last week, I'm like, I'm really digging this because I actually saw a lot of stuff in the back.
Really?
So this has been a fun read. I can't get much out of it, mostly because it deals with occultism and that's all theology based and not really much thought to it, but it's just a fun read. I would probably say this would probably be better as a trade paperback than having to wait for each issue. Mm-hmm. Because you'll find yourself having to go back to look at things. But yeah, it's still cool, and they're coming up with great art in it. I'll keep reading that and picking that up.
Is that a miniseries?
Yeah. It's not sure how many issues it is. It doesn't say on the front. I think it says on the inside. But yeah, it's a miniseries.
Yeah, I read the first one. I thought the first one was okay, but we still holding for Drew?
Real quick in the chat.
Drew's gone now.
Mo just showed up. Well, go ahead and show us another book of yours.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I don't think I got any other ones just for the cover. Oh, yeah, I did. Another one just for the cover. And again, it's one of those ones that the story's probably crap, but they keep doing good because of the cover. And this is kind of a different. Oh my God! I just realized I had a big old rubs on here. That's not good. That's no bueno. On a white cover, that's no good. Wonder Woman 63. It's kind of like a Asian kind of inspired. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah,
that cover.
Kind of anime type cover.
Yeah, a little bit. It's still kind of cool cover. I didn't disappear.
That's a cool looking cover, man. Yeah. I disappeared.
Drew disappeared. I've always been here.
And I also came back. What?
Did you read that, Joe?
Yes. Displaced Greek mythological creatures. You got a Pegasus, you got a satyr, and you got a minotaur. The minotaur is a female, apparently. Nobody bothered to tell us if it was a male or female because the name could have gone either way. Come to find out it is a female. It's a bovine, if you will. And this is about fitting into society. And even though you're not really meant to or can even speak the language, but kind of happen to. So, yeah, it kind of focused on that a lot in the story. And that just kind of made it. But there's the spirit of adventure in it and a young waitress who wants to be part of that adventure. So, Antics. I mean, that's what we got coming up next. Antics. It spent less time with Wonder Woman on this and more about the characters that came through the portal of land. And then Aphrodite's got somebody chained up in a closet, which is, kind of hot. The dungeon sex scene thrown away.
Drew, I saw you sit down. Now you got your mic off or camera off. And nothing.
Caffeinated Comic Book says gorgeous covers. Who Dat's in the room. Nolan Nerd is in the room as well. Hey, man. Did I miss anybody else? BDSM, Laugh Out Loud. I'm not sure what that stands for. I'm a good Christian boy.
Let's say to bondage, something.
I'm not looking at anything on it.
Yeah. Something to do with bondage. That's all I know.
And also, all my people down there in the New Orleans area, me and my wife, Spectacular Spider Grandpa and his wife. We're probably going to be heading down that way in June. As we get more details, we'll probably be looking to you to find out where the best etouffee is, because the last time I was in New Orleans was 96. So just horrible because I got family down there as well. Drew, you in the room yet? Let's talk about another dumpster fire real quick. Doctor Strange for 400 issues. You gave me a 400 issue anniversary, and you gave me 3 short stories in it. One of them was good. Like, I can say that. I actually made some notes on this too, because I just basically the first story you had from backwards to forward, you had a cosmic story. You had kind of sort of an origin story from the perspective of somebody else that didn't like Strange when he was back in the monastery learning everything. And then you kind of had this dimensional story, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm not really sure. The book wasn't, they tried to fit too much into too few stories, and it's just weird. Although we did get a first appearance in here. We got this little character, and I'm going to try to pronounce his name. Viniclus, I believe is his name. And his power is he knows where the magical powers hang out in your brain, and he can dissect them out. So yeah, that's a minor character.
It did look like he has his PhD.
Yeah, right. And basically, we also get a great glimpse of what bureaucracy looks like inside of the magical universe. And apparently, whenever they say magic comes with a cost, everybody kind of took that kind of, metaphorically. It's actually literally, there's actually a tax agent. He's this dressed up nerd, and he says, you owe for using all this magic. So I thought that was kind of funny, but the other stories in it were just kind of, okay, thank you for putting them in there and just adding pages. That was nice. They should have spent more time on the first story. It was better.
Drew, did you read Doctor Strange this week?
I did not read Doctor Strange this week.
How was work tonight with the Super Bowl? Was it crazy?
Oh, man. Lots of crazy shit happened. There's this thing where people like to order food to go, and then they come in and they don't pay the people who do the work of putting their food together,
as in
who are otherwise not being paid. Yeah, we like to call those people during the Super Bowl, and fuck those people. If you ordered wings for your Super Bowl party tonight, and you didn't tip the bartender when you picked them up, beyond that, I'm having a great day.
Hopefully, you got lots of good tips though.
Oh, I did. There are always good people. It's the bad people you just want to set them on fire.
So, did you read Doctor Strange this week?
No, I did not.
Did not. Why don't you give us a book? Give us a book, Drew.
Please.
Uncle Drew.
Didn't read a whole lot this week, to be honest, guys. I read about 3 books.
Wow, that's not like you.
No, not at all. I read Age of X-Men Alpha.
Okay.
I read The Punisher.
We read Punisher. We went over that.
I enjoyed that. I thought it was pretty. I really loved this cover for Detective. I'm now flipping through these books, realizing that I didn't get to it yet. Let's see, what else did I read? Hulk, that was from last week. I didn't read shit. Read Man Without Fear, that was pretty decent.
That was last week too.
Oh, was it? Number 5?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I thought number 4 was.
I could be wrong, but I thought that was last week.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really read much, but I did read Heroes in Crisis number 5. Is that
we talked about that? So why don't you give us your opinion on Heroes in Crisis?
This is my pick of the week, guys.
Holy crap! Wow.
We totally agree.
It's my pick of the week because for all the reasons that Joey hates X-Men, this is what's going on in this book.
No, it's not. No,
it's some Holocaust bullshit. It's some, he 5 minutes off in time. What does that even mean? Who even cares? And I love the fact that this is happening to this book. Hopefully Wally West comes back he's dead. He's dead for real. No, I hope he's not. I hope they're getting the backlash they deserve, and I hope he's coming back. I hope Dan Didio is rethinking his lifestyle. I think this is this book right here. I'm not a fan of what they're doing here at all, but the Clayman art is fantastic. It's really fantastic art in this book. And since it's like one of 3 books that I read, the art in this book out of all the books that I read, and X-Men is kind of the setup, not even really a real book. So this is the one I'm going to go with.
I think just because you read so few books, that had to be your pick of the week. Just because
probably I laughed out loud when like this isn't the same moment. He's from 5 seconds in the future. Like I laughed out loud when they threw that bullshit out there. It really ticked me. It's the most enjoyment I've gotten from a book all week, except for this cover for Journey into Unknown Worlds. This cover right here is just absolutely insanely gorgeous. Let me get a better look at that there. Oh man, alien faces and shit. Look at that.
I got the other cover.
That's pretty amazing, man. I like it.
Okay, I'll talk about these real quick. I didn't read these, but these are, I always pick these up because really for the price point, you can't go wrong. Even if it's a crap book, you didn't waste much money. That's Alternate Comics. And they have hit or misses. They have some good stuff. There's some stuff it's like, okay, we'll pick it up. Unit 44, picked up that guy. And the actual Roger. I haven't read these yet, so but I will be reading these. I don't know if anybody else picks up alternative books and what they think of
that cover with the Roger one. He flashed it real quick. That does not look legit. What's going on there? Some dude on his knees, some dude standing in front.
No, it's a kid.
Whoa, that makes it better.
Well, I haven't read the story, so he's. It says, wait, you're Roger, the Roger? Yes, I'm actually the actual Roger. So as a little kid, I guess he's a superhero, and nobody believes he's the actual Roger. But I said I haven't read through it yet, so I don't know what's going on in here. Whoa. That's weird. So, but yeah, I'll hold it back up so you can take another sneaky peek of that.
Yeah, look at that sneaky peek.
You're taking a wrong perspective on that, my good man.
Taking a sneaky peek.
You're gonna get
one of those alternate comics sneaky peeks.
Okay, Drew, you're next.
One of them Comicsgate creators.
No, I don't think so. No,
Are you sure? I don't know, man. I don't want the comic skaters to come down with their wrath on me. Yeah, you guys talked about everything that I read.
Yeah, I haven't read anything else either. I'm just going through other books that I picked up and kind of talking about the covers a little bit. And
I didn't pressure myself to read because I didn't think I'd be home in time to even hop on.
Yeah. So I did my books till Friday. So, Drew, not Drew. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, Joe. He's the other one.
He's the other one. Spoiling books for you guys, and I'm going to spoil Marvel Knights for you. Ta-da!
That's the last one.
Yeah.
And I've been getting the connecting variants for it. So I got that beautiful Hulk face right there looking good. This one asks us, what happens if everything in your life was just nothing but repeating and all you were doing was hitting a reset button? Would you really do anything different? In this situation, we find out not so much. And to protect it, we have Sentry, who's very easy to fool, apparently. I won't spoil it too much, but I was a little let down by this, but it made sense. The ending made sense. I can't be mad at the book, but I thought it was one of those things where they built up this great story, and it was a super simplistic ending that you kind of wanted more, but I don't think anything else would have fit in the ending of this, if that makes any sense. And again, what happens when you can hit the reset button, and who's really in charge of hitting the reset button? Generally,
I'm in charge.
Generally, it's you. So that's what this book ultimately tells you.
I'm pressing all the wrong buttons.
Exactly, Mr. Kung Fu. It is exactly like Groundhog's Day, we find out. What else? read Dead Man Logan. I'm enjoying this. This is great. We got, well, I don't know how to say it. We got Wolverine kicking the hell out of people. We got X-Men showing up, acting like the authoritative pricks that they are, that think they're just going to lay down law when they have no right to whatsoever. Yeah. And I mean, it takes some gonads for you to tell Captain America what's going to happen. But that happens in this book, and the villains, of course, are always being sneaky, and they're eating each other here really soon.
I didn't know they came out this week.
Right? I'm just going to run through these.
Yeah, you can if you want. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we just run through.
It's 11:15. I mean,
yeah. X-Force #2. Again, this is all about us versus them.
I love that cover, man. That is one of my favorite covers of the week.
I love this cover.
A really nice looking cover.
I thought it was very smooth. We find out Warpath, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but Warpath is kind of a savage, and I'm not talking about his Native American ancestry, but like he's just a savage. He is tired and stuff and just wants to drop bodies left and right. And I'm liking this new Warpath. I like this guy. Action Comics, man, I thought the last issue, they left us on a cliffhanger. I thought something cool would happen, and you know what they did? They decided to do another filler issue. Great cover, though. Anytime you put America up there, I'm all about that.
America!
Amazing Spider-Man #14. Our villains are back at it again. Taskmaster and his new sidekick, the little ant dude. Rhino's now a good guy, but he did a bank robbery not too long ago. That's a confusing situation. Okay, I get it. But really, this is just a filler issue to let you know that people still exist and things are still going on in the background. Justice League #1 annual. Cosmic nihilism, cosmic destruction. Everything's cosmic in this one. And what's Heart Girl's role in it? Apparently not as important as everybody tried to make it to be. Villains have encapsulated a new cosmic deity of some sort, so we know what's going to happen there. That's going to blow up in their face. But great art, great story, lot going on in here. Highly suggest reading this one slowly. You can get lost in it very easily. Old Lady Harley, stupid fun reading. Again, right there with Deadpool. She's chasing on. We get a picture of Aquaman in here. For some reason, all of a sudden, he's half fish, half man. Lobo's the mayor of Vegas, which is actually kind of cool and makes sense. And he's fat and overweight and takes a pill to make himself better. Okay. Oh, yes. The infamous Spawn 293, black and white, error variant. I need to put a quick disclaimer out there for everybody. This is not a recall. I checked the site myself. There's been a lot of blasts on Instagram and a lot of the chat forums. It is not. They're not doing it, but they are going to reprint this at #2 the correct way. So if you thought that this book was going to go anywhere or you bought several copies of them, I would probably dump them in the next week and keep one for yourself because we still get a very good visual of how his new powers work in this issue. And I thought that was interesting. And for new books this week, I went ahead and picked up this this X-Men 3D gimmicky thing because I'm stupid with my money and I do stupid stuff like that. And of course, that's that great cover right there that we have all come to know, the iconic cover. So yeah, real quick, other books that I picked up this week. The one that created a little bit of buzz, we'll save for last. I picked up, these are all dollar bin books, except for one of them. Spawn #2, picked that up. Marvel Age #38. This is the first appearance of He-Man in the Marvel comic book universe, or comic book, I should say. Punisher #2, because I have most of them. Metamorpho first issue special with Metamorpho in it. I just like the cover on that. I like that. It's a classic cover. And these are probably all, to be honest with you, probably just going to be flip-worthy stuff. This one I will keep. Archie or Richie Rich, Casper, and Wendy. This is the National League 1976 edition. I like that kind of stuff. It makes me happy. Another keeper is Justice League of America. This is the first appearance of the Royal Flush Gang in there, and I know people are going to look this up, so definitely this is them as the wearing the spades instead of the other things that they have worn. My two big books that I picked up this week, my older books, X-Men number 16. Picked that up in very nice condition. Loving that. And I actually found this one in a dollar bin, and I posted it on Instagram. It's Iron Man number 5. We'll definitely get that stuff protected and out there as quickly as possible into the safe plastic bin, not the cardboard. And man, I spoke a lot. That's all I got.
Hey, Drew, do you want to go over the other books you got, or are you good?
Look, man, let's talk about what I picked up right here. Some of this stuff might be from last week. I know this Incredible Hulk's from last week. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to get into that. I'm really loving what's going on with this X-Men. Got some Justice League Annual. I heard some less than stellar things about, but the art looked really good. And Snyder wrote it with Tynion, so we're gonna go ahead and see if we can't save the source wall. Whatever. I've been loving Teen Titans. Can't wait to jump into this book here. This new Red Hood sucks dicks. So I'm going to go ahead and say that. You can bleep me out with some sort of thing when you do the podcast audio. I liked when I listened back to that. You did that, Huey. That was pretty fantastic.
Good.
Was that a lot of work to do that?
It's some, because I listened to the whole thing all over again. So if I have about
dicks, big old fucking dicks.
It'll be all bleeped out now. Big old long bleep, you'll hear it.
Big old floppy ding dong dicks, baby.
Okay.
That's how much Red Hood sucks right now. I hate his redesigned costume. I hope Damian cuts his head off, but it's probably not going to happen. I talked about how much I love this Mr. Miracle cover for Detective. I've been loving this so far. Can't wait to crack that open. This is most likely what I'm going to be doing tomorrow morning, since I don't work until tomorrow evening. So nothing to do on a Monday except for maybe hit the gym and read Marvel Knights
and talk about dicks.
And see what the fuck this press the reset button thing Joey's talking about is. I'll get into that and we'll check it out. I love that I picked up this Phil Noto cover, man. These are really great. This X-Force Phil Noto cover looks like X-Men, and you got Gambit on there. You got Captain America and Jubilee and War Machine for some fucking reason. Who knows? That's pretty great. We got Quantum Age. I've been loving this. I meant to read this the other day, and then I got caught up doing something else. Who knows? Punisher, talked about how I like that. Dr. Aphra, still the best Star Wars story ongoing. Really great character created for this Marvel Comics line. Hopefully we'll get her in the movies sometime soon, and they won't ruin her like they have ruined everything. The Last Jedi sucked. A whole big bag of floppy dicks. They were big floppy ones. And Huey's going to have to press a lot of buttons to make these dicks go away for the podcast. Dicks. Captain America, haven't read it yet, but I picked it up. Skyward, this has been good. It's kind of falling off. We're getting towards the end of the second arc here, so this is going to be shit or get off the pot time for Skyward. Man Without Fear, number 5. You told me it came out last week. I don't remember that. 14 of the Amazing Spider-Man. It's got a really great Otley cover, but apparently it's Botchlo art. I love Botchlo art. I haven't even cracked it open yet, so we're going to give it a try and see how it goes. But yeah, we'll see. I've been liking Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man so far. Talked about when Joey held it up. Love this X-Force cover. I think that this is a really great team pose, man. Other artists are missing out on this really great team pose. Dead Man Logan, didn't like issue number 2. We'll see if issue number 3 brings me back up. And my pick of the week, Heroes in Crisis, because it made me laugh so hard when it was a dumbass twist thing at the end of this. And I was like, ha ha. Everyone who likes that just was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, that's great. And then this is my cover of the week. I already got this double boarded. This probably won't leave my collection. And this is a fantastic looking cover, though. issue probably sucks. I'll probably find this cover 13 times over in dollar bins in the next year or so, and I'm going to pick it up every single time. It's a beautiful cover, and that's that. Yeah, that puts fucking any art germ or any sort of cheesecakey ladies to shame. You know, I don't need all my girls to look like J. Scott Campbell draws. Everybody, all the same.
Okay, so issues I didn't get to. I've been, people have been saying start grabbing on Spawn, something big's supposed to happen. So I did. I grabbed that black and white cover, of course. Got that bad boy. I got the Old Lady Harley. I haven't read any of them yet. I know it's a 5-part miniseries. I figured I'll just get them all and I'll read them on the evening or something.
I heard it's not
Justice
very
League
good.
Annual. I don't know. This is part of the World of Stabbity Bunny Shadow Play #1. Sounds like it might be a sex move. I don't know.
Shadow play?
Yeah, it might be. That's where you do hand puppets naked. Yeah. Peter Cannon Thunderbolt #1. Yeah, I don't know. That fell flat. I'm sorry. Few back issues that I got. I got this one. Chamber of Chill. I got this one for $1 too. Chamber of Chills #25. I like these old Marvel horror books. These are actually reprints, but I picked them up anyhow. Weird Wonder Tales 18. Weird Wonder Tales 19. #20. I showed this one on Facebook. The cover's gone off it, but still for $1, dude. I just couldn't pass that up for $1. That Tales of Suspense #69. So
Nice.
cool. The whole story's there and everything, and then it's got some issues too, but not that bad. Captain America 119. That's all my books I got. That's it. That's it for books. We don't have any Funko news tonight. C2E2 stuff.
I got some Funko news.
You got Funko news. Give us some Funko news. People love your Funko news. They think you're the best at it.
No, I feel like I'm shitting on Grandpa when I do it. I don't want to do that.
Grandpa might like that. I don't know if he's into that or not.
It's only fun when he's here.
He wasn't here last time.
I know. It was still great, though.
No Funko news for you? No Funkos?
No.
I picked up a bunch and I really don't care.
Yeah. I got a Funko this week and I left it upstairs. I got the new Superman and the dynamic pose, the signature series or whatever the fuck they call it.
The
chat says the Michael Jordan Funko looks sick. Yes, it does. It does look sick. If I give a shit about Michael Jordan, I might buy one.
I do have to get a shout out to Grandpa here as well. He sent us a picture in our private chat. He ordered the Stan Lee with the Thanos gauntlet, with the Infinity Gauntlet, and they shipped it in a bag. Just a bag, no box. It came smashed. The box was destroyed. So he was pretty upset about that. So hopefully he's gonna be able to get a return on that. So you want to give a C2E2 update, Joe? Do you have anything on that?
Yeah, so it has been confirmed. Everybody is paid. The Blast and Stash It crew, all about comics, and the Comic Corps will be in some way, shape, or form in Chicago, and we will all be down there together. And we definitely want to see all of our viewers if you're down that way. So definitely leave a comment down below. Let us know. Let us know. Some of us are thinking about doing maybe a meetup where one day during the Comic-Con we'll blast it on our Instagrams of a location where we will be at. I know I have promised several people drinks, so
your tab's going to be huge.
That's okay. So yeah, that's going to be just a great time. Also, we're going to get some, I believe, Lords of the Long Box, I believe is the channel's name. Looks like we'll be sharing a booth with them. They want us to kind of come in and out and kind of have that experience.
No, Chuckload of Comics.
Truckload of Comics. I misspoke. Yeah, so yeah, same concept though. So we'll be swinging by there. Also myself, Spectacular Spider Grandpa, I believe you did as well. A bunch of us have media passes, so we'll be pushing out a lot of content to all of you out there while we hijack people and make them say weird things.
Yeah. I plan on giving a tour of our place that night when we get there, of our Airbnb.
Yeah.
Maybe walk around and kind of.
So definitely hit that little ring when we post something. You can see it before we take it down, because that happened in Baltimore twice, where Spectacular Spider Grandpa posted something and took it down the next day.
What was that?
It was rant. We were ranting about something, and I put it up on my channel, and we were just drunk ranting about something, and you couldn't even understand us, so we just took it down. It was ridiculous.
Well, it can't be any worse than Fan Expo last year when Drew and I we got our what was that first place we went to?
Whataburger.
We went to Whataburger. You know, we had this great experience with our bus driver. We got back. We're going live on the YouTube channel, and we've been going on for 5 minutes telling this great story, and then the mic wasn't on.
Yeah.
So like, crap, you know. So now we got to repeat that.
Yeah, we came and picked y'all up the next morning. We met y'all downstairs, and that was all we talked about the entire ride over. It was funny.
So yeah, so
we went to Whataburger, and let me tell you guys, what a burger!
What a cinnamon roll too, huh?
Dude, everything I got there was on fire. It was litty titty in the city.
Also, me and Spectacular Spider Grandpa are probably going to launch at least one more auction before C2E2 to help pay for this bar tab. We'll have that information out. Thank you for all of you that stopped by and checked it. I hope you paid the price that you thought was fair for it in the bids, and hopefully you got some good stuff too. I know we don't chintzy the auction. We put some good stuff in there. So definitely we'll launch that again.
Yeah, so the countdown is on. So I fly out Thursday morning, be there about 3 o'clock in the afternoon Thursday, and then it's on.
We'll be rolling in about 7 o'clock. I'm trying to get
Whataburger. He's the
Grandpa to dress up like.
I don't think that's true.
Trying to get us to dress up like the Blues Brothers.
I saw your post. Yeah.
That scene.
So you won't be there until like 7 that night, huh?
Yeah, about 7. If we leave around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, yeah, it's about between 13 and 15 hours for us.
Really.
Well, I'll tell you, everybody, I will be flying into Chicago. I'll be getting there around noon. I've heard, pray tell, of somebody picking me up, possibly. Who knows? If you guys are in Chicago around noon on, what is that, the 21st of March, hit up a DruManchu.
Hey, just hang out at the airport for 2 hours and wait for me to get there.
I will be hammered if I hang out at the airport for 2 hours.
Because I'll be there right around 2:30, I think. That's when I'm supposed to be there. So,
speaking of auctions, this coming Wednesday, the first and third Wednesday of every month on All About Comics, I sell my shit. And this is going to help me get to C2E2 and spend as much money there as possible. If you want me to buy you drinks in Chicago, buy my comics on Wednesday. I got a lot of really exciting lots coming for you guys. You like the Incredible Hulk? I got some Incredible Hulk lots. Everybody likes Planet Hulk. Everybody likes Barbarian Hulk. I got some Barbarian Hulk lots coming for you. You guys like just plain old Barbarians? I got some lots coming for you there. I'm going to do an epic build-a-box again. Hopefully we're going to start with a mystery slab. See if you guys want to pick up some of my books, put some money in my pocket, and I got a lot of really great stuff coming. You like Fathom? You guys like Michael Turner? How do you feel about Michael Turner, Huey?
I'm not a big fan of Michael Turner.
Oh, then you might not want to bid on this lot. Because if you like Michael Turner, I got a whole lot of Fathom coming your way. And that is coming up this Wednesday. You get some Fathom. You guys like 3D? Oh, man, this new technology, 3D, three-dimensional books. Are you serious? I can, like, put some glasses on and look at some books, and, man, it pops out at you. I got some 3D books coming in a 3D lot as well. I got some gimmicks coming your way. Come and see me on Wednesday. Bring your pay, pal, and then give it to me. All of your money. Bring it to me. I'm taking it to Chicago, and I'm I'm going to make sure I make it rain on everybody there. We're going to have a good ass time. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to have the walking around money. I had to do my own thing and to go out and search business opportunities all about comics first and third Wednesdays.
I might have to sell a few books too. I don't know if I'll be on. I don't think I'll be on that show, but might have to throw a couple on eBay and sell.
Hey, Huey, tell
Yeah.
everybody what they'll get if they join our Patreon site and give us $1. What do they have a chance to win?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was looking up Michael Turner and just double checking his art and make sure I don't like it because everybody's saying he's great. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I like Michael Turner very much.
Barbarian Kung Fu prefers Ike Turner. That's socially irresponsible of me to laugh at that.
Yeah,
but it's funny.
You're a sexist pig. Yes, our Patreon, of course, our Patreon. How can I forget about that? So Patreon, we have 3 different tiers: $1, $2, $3. You guys, if you put in $1, you get 1 entry each month. Last month was the Red Sonja cover, the one exclusive I got from, I think it was KRS Comics. $2 gets you 2 entries for the month. 3 gets you 3. $1 a month. You get you an entry into a great book. So I think we've got about 8 patrons right now. But that just all that money doesn't go to us personally. It goes into buying those books, and the more patrons you get, we more money we have to buy bigger books, to have, or maybe multiple prizes. So definitely go check out our Patreon. The link is down below. Go check it out. $1 a month. That's less than a candy bar. Can't buy a regular sized candy bar for less than $1, unless you go to Walmart and you get it on sale. I don't know, but go check out our Patreon. Go check us out on Twitter. We have a Twitter page. I'm posting stuff on Twitter all the time. I've been trying to weekly post. Go to my back issues, read a back issue, kind of give a quick review of it. Maybe hopefully you guys have read that book too. Chime in, tell me what you think of that. On Facebook too, that's a great way to be able to interact with everybody. People post stuff on there, what they're looking for, what they're maybe trying to sell. A great way to interact with everybody else on there as well. So they can check us all that. Follow us on all those social medias and get updates on C2E2 and when we're doing. And it'd be fun to have that another YouTube dinner again and meet everybody. That'd be awesome. Make it bigger and better than last time.
The one in Dallas I didn't make. I got drunk in American Legion.
we know because our bus driver told us about you.
That's exactly what I would tell anybody else about you. They said, "Oh, well, we'll hang out with Joey." I said, "Yeah, if he doesn't wander off and get drunk in American Legion."
So we are running. I can't believe we ran this long. Was this mainly the 2 of us tonight? We figured, it's going to be a quick episode. We'll be in and out. We'll be in time. Here we are, an hour and 40 minutes into the episode. So we'll go to wrap it up.
I came in and I saved the day the way a hero does. You're welcome.
No, I can cut 5 minutes out of the podcast like you never were there.
Big floppy dicks there, buddy.
That's it. Drew, shout outs or anything else you got to say before we get out of here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. I only loaded it up a couple minutes ago, but it's bopping and a hopping in there. We got caffeinated comic books in there, Barbarian Kung Fu, Comic Girl Ava's hanging out in there, as well as Mo and Miss Explained. Looking forward to hanging out with you again in Chicago, brother. Shout out to JP over at All About Comics, who is hosting that auction on Wednesday where you can find me. And that's at 9 p.m. Eastern. And come and bring all of your money. I can't say it enough. I want all of your money. Some people might want some of your money. They want to give you a good deal. I want you to give me all of your money. That's just all you need to do, and we're gonna all be happy if we can make that happen. Shout out to the Comic Core on Friday nights. Love those guys. Getting ready to see them on in Chicago as well. I'm starting to ramble here. Huey, thank you so much for letting me come on here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for letting me know that if I say big floppy dicks, you got to go through some work to make it go away. That's beautiful. And I'm really looking forward to hearing this week's audio version of the podcast.
Yeah, great. I appreciate that.
If
Joe?
you guys aren't listening to the audio version of the podcast, you're really cheating yourselves because I sound amazing.
He definitely sounds better than he looks, that's for sure.
I have a face for radio, pal.
Just as before we go to Joe here, Drew's talking about our podcast. Yeah, so I take the audio from our podcast. Plus, I'm trying to work on some other stuff to do, some extra episodes kind of in between. I go through and edit it out. I add outtakes at the end, and it's a little different approach to it. Plus, you can listen to this when you're out doodling about, you know.
Yeah.
Joe?
For a podcast when you're out doodling about. That's the tagline.
Well, at least I'm not
about. What?
Okay, whatever. I'm not good off the fly like you. It's
Look,
not on Stitcher, but I'm gonna look at that.
That
Thanks
was
everybody.
that made me laugh. I appreciate
On
that.
a Super Bowl Sunday. That's really great that all you came out and saw us. We know you can catch many shows out there, but thank you for coming to ours. Yeah, if you're going to C2E2, let us know. What finds have you done? We got a Facebook page. Let us know. Come sub us up. We'd love to have those conversations with you. Big shout outs to Spectacular Spider Grandpa, who couldn't be here with us tonight, and Midwest Comic Guy, who also cannot be here with us tonight. Hope you guys are doing okay. Let us know if you need anything. Other than that, I love you all. You're my favorite people in the world, all 12 of you.
Yes, Ava, it is on iTunes. I have it on iTunes, Slacker, and Podbean, of course, as well as Google Play. So it's on those 4 right now. I'm still working on getting the other one set up.
Don't worry, Ava. I don't subscribe to the podcast. I just play it when he links it on Facebook.
You need to subscribe to it. That way it brings our numbers up. It makes it look a little better, don't you think?
We're concerned about our numbers.
Well, I don't know.
What's going to happen if we don't get our numbers up?
I don't know. The world will end in 12 years. I don't know. We have a few new subscribers to our channel. We have, oh my God, I'm probably going to butcher names, but I do apologize. Oh my God, I don't even want to try it. Kachong? I don't know, Kachhoong. Maybe I need to edit myself out there during the editing. Sheila Flaming Comics, Barbarian Kung Fu, which has been in our chat quite a bit here, as well as Los. So we're up to on our channel. We are up to, see my channel, 594 subs. So thanks guys for all the subs and working hard. We're going to be working hard. I think at C2E2 trying to get our name out to some more, talking to people, giving some cards out. Man, it's going to be a fun time. I think I'm going to see our channel grow a little bit more from that. So
yeah, we're coming into that place big, dick swinging. Bleep that out.
Whether you blast it or whether you shash it, happy reading, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Dicks.